Hello, night travelers. Welcome back to our quiet corner of the Night Observer, a place where tired souls find rest and where gentle thoughts are allowed to wander among the great mysteries of time. Tonight, our small flame is lit once more, casting a soft golden glow into the stillness of the night. I invite you to adjust your pillow, draw the blanket closer to your chest, let your shoulders soften, and feel a slow warmth spreading from your heart to your fingertips. Allow your breathing to become unhurried, like fine dust drifting silently between distant galaxies. Tonight, we will not speak of modern spacecraft or distant futures. Instead, we will journey backward, millions of years into the past, to hear the story of those who once ruled the land itself, the dinosaurs. Let the fatigue of the day quietly dissolve. Let your body sink into the gentle embrace of your bed. Imagine the steady warmth of a campfire nearby, its light flickering softly against the darkness. We are not traveling outward into the stars tonight, but inward, deep into the memory of the earth, where ancient echoes still linger. Relax your muscles. Take a slow breath in and release it gently, like dust settling through the air. Our story begins not with thunder, but with whispers. Whispers of stone, of time, and of patient hands brushing away layers of earth to reveal a forgotten world. Together, we step into our chapter, Echoes from the Earth, Exploration and Naming. The first pieces, When Myth Meets Stone. Dear night travelers, imagine standing on open plains thousands of years ago. There are no books of science, no microscopes, no clocks to measure deep time. And yet, from eroded hillsides, enormous bones emerge, hard as stone, vast beyond anything familiar. In the Far East, these colossal remains found their way into ancient records. The Huayang Kingdom Chronicle, compiled during China's Jin Dynasty, speaks of discoveries known as dragon bones in Wucheng, Sichuan. For centuries, villagers believed these fossils belonged to dragons, creatures of power and mystery, and ground them into medicine, trusting in their hidden strength. Across Europe, the same bones inspired different legends. Some believed they were the remains of giants from biblical times. Others thought they belonged to monstrous beings cast out of Eden. At that time, the earth spoke only in riddles, and humanity answered with myth and wonder. Light from Oxfordshire, Robert Plot and the Great Mistake. Time moves forward, slowly and patiently, until we arrive in the year 1676 at a limestone quarry in Oxfordshire, England. There, a massive bone is uncovered, a femur, heavy and rough, far larger than any known animal of the age. The bone finds its way to Robert Plot, Oxford's first professor of chemistry and the founding curator of the Ashmolean Museum. In his 1677 work, The Natural History of Oxfordshire, Plot describes it carefully. He correctly identifies it as part of a thigh bone from a very large creature. Yet the limits of his era guide his conclusion astray. Plot believes it must belong to a giant human, perhaps a titan or a figure from ancient legend. He does not know that he is holding the first recognized fragment of what we now call Megalosaurus. The Earth had begun to speak clearly, but its language was not yet understood. In 1699, Edward Lloyd, an associate of Isaac Newton, described a fossilized tooth, giving it the name Rutellum implicatum. Still, the true identity of these creatures remained hidden. William Buckland and the giant lizard. Now let the fire warm us as we step into the early 19th century, a time when geology and biology were beginning to awaken. Here we meet Reverend William Buckland, the first lecturer in geology at Oxford. Between 1815 and 1824, Buckland collected more bones from Stonesfield. Unlike those before him, he dared to move beyond the idea of giants and legends. In 1824, he published the first scientific description of a dinosaur species, He named it Megalosaurus, the giant lizard. Buckland envisioned a massive carnivorous reptile, unlike anything alive. Though his early reconstruction, slow-moving and four-legged, would later be corrected, his work marked a turning point. For the first time, the ancient rulers of the land were stepping into the light of science. Marianne Mantell and the tooth that changed everything. While Buckland worked in Oxford, another quiet discovery was unfolding in Sussex. In 1822, legend tells us that Marianne Mantell, walking with her husband Gideon, noticed unusual teeth embedded in quarry stone. They were worn like those of plant eaters, yet astonishingly large. Gideon Mantell recognized their resemblance to the teeth of a modern iguana. In 1825, he published his findings, naming the creature Iguanodon, iguana tooth. He devoted his life and nearly all his resources to uncovering its remains and imagining its form. Europe took notice. These were no isolated curiosities. A question began to echo through scientific circles. Who were these giants? Where did they come from? And why were they gone? Richard Owen and the Birth of Dinosauria. Dear traveler, listen closely now. We approach a defining moment. It is the year 1842. The brilliant British anatomist Sir Richard Owen studies three fossil genera, Megalosaurus, Iguanodon, and Hylaeosaurus. And suddenly, a realization emerges. These creatures are not simply oversized lizards. Their bones tell a different story. Their skeletons are stronger. Their hips are fused. Their limbs stand upright beneath their bodies, not sprawled to the side like those of modern reptiles. In April of that year, Owen publishes a revised scientific report, and with it, he introduces a new name, one meant to inspire awe: Dinosauria. From the Greek dinos, meaning terrible or majestic, and sauros, meaning lizard. Not a word of fear alone, but of grandeur. With the support of Prince Albert, Owen later helped establish the Natural History Museum in London, ensuring that these ancient beings would forever stand at the crossroads of science and imagination. The Bone Wars and the Golden Age in North America. Our story now crosses the great ocean, drifting westward to the untamed landscapes of North America. In the year 1858, in New Jersey, William Parker Folk uncovered something extraordinary: a nearly complete skeleton of Hadrosaurus folkii. This discovery quietly overturned everything scientists thought they knew. For the first time, a dinosaur was shown to stand upright, balanced on two legs. The old image of dinosaurs as slow, four-legged lizards began to fade, replaced by a far more dynamic vision of ancient life. That single skeleton ignited one of the most dramatic rivalries in scientific history, an episode later known as the Bone Wars. Two brilliant minds, Edward Drinker Cope and Othniel Charles Marsh, entered a relentless competition to see who could uncover, describe, and name the most dinosaur species. For nearly 30 years, from the 1870s through the 1890s, their rivalry consumed the American West. They hired crews, raced against one another across harsh terrain, and sometimes resorted to questionable methods, bribery, secrecy, even explosives, to reach fossil beds first. Many priceless specimens were damaged in the process, yet the outcome reshaped science forever. By the end of the conflict, Marsh had identified 86 new species, and Cope 56 to 142 dinosaurs brought to light. From this turbulent era emerged names now etched into our collective imagination: Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Brontosaurus. From rivalry and excess, modern paleontology found its footing. Night travelers. The search for the rulers of the land is not merely a tale of bones locked in stone. It is a story of human curiosity that refuses to rest, of errors that slowly guide us toward truth, and of names spoken aloud to awaken a world that had slept beneath our feet for millions of years. From early myths of giants and dragons, through the careful observations of Buckland and the Mantell family, to the grand synthesis of Richard Owen, the veil over the age of dinosaurs was slowly lifted. From this process, paleontology was born, a science that studies death in order to understand life, that looks backward into deep time while quietly asking questions about our future. Now, let the images of towering skeletons form gently in your mind. Hear the soft brush of archaeologists sweeping dust from ancient bone. Your breathing slows, deepens. Everything within the earth carries a story, and every story waits patiently to visit your dreams. Feel the warmth of the dying campfire, its embers glowing like small falling stars. Let your breath drift slowly now, like dust suspended between distant galaxies. Tonight, we leave behind spaceships and distant suns and travel far deeper into time, hundreds of millions of years, toward one of life's most profound turning points, the dawn of the heirs, origins and formation. After the Great Fire, a world of ghosts. Dear night travelers, the rise of the dinosaurs does not begin with thunderous footsteps or fearsome roars. It begins in silence. Around 250 million years ago, Earth endured the most devastating extinction in its long history, the Permian extinction, often called the Great Dying. More than 95% of marine life vanished. On land, nearly 70% of species disappeared. Close your eyes and imagine such a world. Forests collapsed and failed to return. Coral reefs shattered. The sky thickened with gases from colossal volcanic eruptions in what is now Siberia. Temperatures rose. Oceans turned acidic and starved of oxygen, and life itself seemed to teeter at the edge of oblivion. For millions of years afterward, Earth was a haunted place. Deserts stretched across continents. Food chains lay broken. Survivors moved among the remains of the dead. Yet within this ash-filled silence, a resilient lineage began to stir. Creatures destined one day to inherit the planet. They were called archosaurs. Archosaurs, the first upright steps. Listen closely, night traveler, to the quiet footfalls of the past. Early archosaurs were small and unassuming, yet within them lay the seeds of transformation. Unlike other reptiles, whose limbs sprawled awkwardly to the sides, archosaurs evolved a more upright posture. Their legs moved beneath their bodies, allowing greater efficiency, longer strides, and sustained speed. This single shift changed everything. They breathed more effectively, thanks to advanced lung systems. Their hearts were stronger, their metabolisms faster, their bodies better suited to heat and hardship. In a low-oxygen, unstable world, archosaurs were not merely surviving, they were being refined. They were survival machines shaped by adversity. Whispers in stone. The first dinosaurs appear. We move now to the middle of the Triassic period, between 243 and 230 million years ago. The first true dinosaurs quietly entered the fossil record, not as giants, but as modest, agile creatures. Fossils from Argentina, Brazil, and Zimbabwe reveal animals like Eoraptor and Herrerasaurus, no larger than modern dogs. They darted through fern-filled landscapes, hunting insects and small reptiles along riverbanks and floodplains. At this time, dinosaurs were not dominant. The world belonged to others: armored etosaurs, bulky rhynchosaurs, and massive crocodile-like predators known as phytosaurs. Dinosaurs lived at the edges of the ecosystem: hunters, scavengers, small plant eaters, watching and waiting. The blueprint of an empire. 3 great lineages. Yet within those small bodies lay a design that would shape the future. From these early forms, 3 great branches emerged: theropoda, agile, 2-legged predators with sharp teeth, grasping claws, and forward-facing eyes. From them would arise creatures like Allosaurus and Tyrannosaurus rex, sauropodomorpha, early plant eaters that would eventually become the long-necked giants. Even in their youth, they carried the skeletal framework needed to support immense size. Ornithischia, herbivores with beaks adapted for tough vegetation, ever alert to danger. Though called bird-hipped, they were not the ancestors of birds. Every colossus that would one day thunder across the land began here, in creatures small enough to be overlooked. When disaster opens the throne, the rise of the dinosaurs is a quiet hymn to patience and to chance. For millions of years, they refined their advantages, waiting. Then, about 201 million years ago, catastrophe struck again. The Triassic-Jurassic extinction tore apart ecosystems as volcanic eruptions fractured the supercontinent Pangaea. Carbon dioxide flooded the atmosphere. Many dominant reptile groups vanished. This time, dinosaurs endured. With efficient lungs, adaptable bodies, and rapid growth, they stepped into the emptiness left behind. Across the broken continents, they spread into forests, deserts, plains, and coastlines. From the margins of existence, they rose to claim the land. O night travelers, your breathing is slow now, steady and deep. Let visions of vast Triassic forests, of small yet determined dinosaurs racing against time, and of ancient stars shining faintly overhead guide you toward rest. Everything unfolds as it should. You need not solve the universe tonight. Let the small flame warm your soul. Let time itself cradle you. Close your eyes and drift gently into sleep beneath the endless ocean of stars. Tonight, we will not be speaking of distant planets or mysterious black holes. Instead, we gently open Earth's own diary, turning its ancient pages to sketch the biological portraits of those who once ruled this world. Portraits of the rulers, species characteristics. Allow your muscles to soften. Take a slow, deep breath and release it gently, like fine dust drifting unhurriedly between distant galaxies. Tonight, we will explore anatomy, the rhythm of breath, and even the quiet workings of the dinosaur mind, to understand why these creatures became some of the most efficient survival machines nature has ever shaped. The blueprint of kings, the upright gait. Dear night travelers, when we imagine dinosaurs, our thoughts often go first to their immense size. Yet the true foundation of their success lay not in scale, but in a subtle and revolutionary change hidden within the hips. Dinosaurs belonged to the Archosaur group, often called the ruling reptiles. What truly set them apart, however, was their upright gait. Unlike lizards or crocodiles, whose limbs extend outward and force them into a low, crawling posture, dinosaur legs descended straight beneath the body. This was made possible by a forward-facing socket in the pelvis and a femur that angled inward to meet it. This elegant design granted extraordinary advantages. Dinosaurs moved with greater efficiency across difficult terrain, achieved higher speeds, and covered longer distances with each stride. Most crucially, this posture allowed them to breathe freely while running. Crawling reptiles compress their rib cages as they move, restricting airflow. Dinosaurs did not. This simple freedom of breath enabled levels of endurance and activity far beyond those of their contemporaries. The Great Division, Saurischia and Ornithischia. Now imagine these towering skeletons glowing softly in the light of a distant campfire. To understand their diversity, scientists look once again to the hips, dividing dinosaurs into two great lineages. The first is Saurischia, the lizard-hipped dinosaurs. In these animals, the pubic bone points forward, reflecting their ancestral condition. This group includes the swift, two-legged predators, known as theropods, as well as the colossal, long-necked sauropodomorphs. And here lies one of evolution's quiet wonders. Despite the name, these lizard-hipped dinosaurs gave rise to modern birds. The second lineage is Ornithischia, the bird-hipped dinosaurs. In these creatures, the pubic bone points backward, creating a hip structure that outwardly resembles that of birds. Most ornithischians were plant eaters, and many evolved remarkable defenses. Armored ankylosaurs, plated stegosaurs, horned ceratopsians, and the graceful, duck-billed hadrosaurids. Inner fire, warm-blooded or cold-blooded. For much of the 20th century, dinosaurs were imagined as sluggish, cold-blooded reptiles. But let your steady breathing guide you toward what modern science now reveals. Dinosaurs were far more dynamic. Microscopic studies of their bones show a tissue known as fibrolamellar bone, rich in blood vessels and marked by rapid, continuous growth. This type of bone is typical of animals with high metabolic rates. Today, many researchers believe dinosaurs were mesothermic, their metabolism higher than that of modern reptiles, though generally lower than that of birds and mammals. This idea is further supported by discoveries of dinosaurs that lived near the poles in ancient Australia, Antarctica, and Alaska. These regions experienced long, dark winters and cool climates. Survival there would have required effective internal temperature regulation, allowing dinosaurs to remain active when cold would have stilled lesser creatures. The breath of giants, air sacs, and hollow bones. Listen closely, night traveler. Perhaps you can almost hear the wind moving through stone. That whisper mirrors the way oxygen flowed through the bodies of many dinosaurs, particularly the saurischians. Their lungs were connected to an intricate system of air sacs, much like those found in modern birds. These sacs extended beyond the lungs, threading through the body cavity and even into the bones themselves, forming hollow chambers known as pneumatic cavities. This made the skeletons of enormous sauropods lighter without sacrificing strength. Even more remarkable was the flow of air itself. Oxygen moved in one direction, continuously refreshing the lungs during both inhalation and exhalation. It was, in effect, a biological jet engine, fueling sustained energy for long migrations, relentless hunting, and the movement of truly massive bodies. The quiet light of intelligence, mind, and society. Do not be misled by their size or shape, traveler. Dinosaurs were not dull creatures. Studies of brain-to-body ratios reveal increasing intelligence, particularly among theropods. Species such as Troodon possessed brains proportionally similar to those of modern birds. Large visual centers allowed keen processing of sight, while a well-developed cerebellum coordinated precise movement. Predators like Allosaurus combined sharp senses into a unified whole, tracking prey with remarkable efficiency across great distances. Their social lives were no less complex. Fossilized trackways show herds moving together, adults surrounding the young for protection. Some theropods may have hunted cooperatively, using ambush and coordinated movement to bring down prey far larger than any one individual could manage alone. The mother's vigil, reproduction and care. In the gentle stillness of night, imagine nests carefully hidden and vigilantly guarded. Dinosaurs were not careless parents. Fossils of Maiasaura, whose name means good mother lizard, reveal adults caring for their young well after hatching. In species such as Massospondylus, hatchlings were born without teeth, dependent on parental care for survival. Other fossils, including those of Cetipati, show adults preserved in the act of brooding, arms spread protectively over nests, feathers shielding fragile eggs from harm. All dinosaurs laid hard-shelled eggs rich in calcium carbonate. Some species returned generation after generation to the same nesting grounds, forming vast communal nurseries that stretched across the landscape, sharpened senses and living weapons. At last, traveler, consider the tools nature placed in their care. Dinosaurs were equipped with senses finely tuned to their world. Predators such as Tyrannosaurus rex possessed exceptional stereoscopic vision, allowing precise judgment of distance and movement. Their sense of smell was powerful enough to detect food from far away. Others, like Spinosaurus, bore pressure-sensitive receptors along their snouts, capable of detecting subtle vibrations in dark, muddy water. For defense and attack alike, evolution provided formidable weapons. Serrated teeth like knives of stone, curved claws, tails shaped into crushing maces, and horns that served not only in combat, but in display and temperature regulation. O night travelers, your breathing has slowed now, deep and steady. You have completed a long journey through the living design of Earth's ancient rulers. These were not merely bones in glass cases, but beings of strength, awareness, and care. Everything is unfolding gently, just as it should. Leave the past to rest in its deep chambers, and the future to arrive in its own time. Tonight, you need only be still. Let the slow rhythm of time cradle you. Close your eyes and drift peacefully beneath the vast, silent ocean of stars. Night travelers, let us gently unfold the ancient map of Earth and trace the paths of those who once ruled its continents, dynasties on the continents, distribution and dominant tribes. Relax your muscles. Take a deep breath and let it flow out slowly. Imagine yourself drifting high above the planet, looking down upon an Earth unlike the one you know. An Earth where the continents are not yet scattered, but bound together in a slow, deliberate dance of stone and time. Tonight, we will move through the ages, from a single unified world to one broken into distant realms, and witness how dinosaurs came to inhabit every corner of this planet. Triassic period, dawn on the supercontinent Pangaea. Dear night travelers, let us travel back some 230 million years to the closing chapters of the Triassic period. The familiar pattern of 5 continents and 4 oceans did not yet exist. Instead, nearly all land was fused into one immense crescent-shaped supercontinent, Pangaea, encircled by the vast Panthalassa Ocean. This enormous landmass created a harsh interior climate, dry, scorching, and dominated by endless deserts. Yet this very unity allowed the earliest dinosaurs, no larger than a modern dog, to roam freely, unimpeded by oceans or mountain barriers. In regions that would one day become Argentina and Brazil, early pioneers such as Euraptor and Herrerasaurus appeared, light-footed, bipedal predators threading their way through conifer forests and river valleys. Far away, in what is now Zimbabwe and India, early sauropodomorphs like Imbersaurus and Jaclopalosaurus quietly established their presence. At this time, dinosaurs were still newcomers, sharing the land with armored etosaurs and crocodile-like phytosaurs. Their spread across Pangaea was broad and even, shaped by a world without borders. Early to Middle Jurassic, the unification of giants. Around 201 million years ago, the Jurassic period dawned, and with it, profound change. Vast volcanic eruptions accompanied the first rifts in Pangaea, releasing immense volumes of carbon dioxide. The planet warmed, humidity rose, and Earth became a living furnace. As older reptilian rivals faded into extinction, ecological space opened wide. Dinosaurs stepped forward and filled it, achieving near-global distribution. Imagine it, traveler. A world where similar dinosaurs walked lands that today lie oceans apart. The early Jurassic belonged to swift, hungry, coelophysoid theropods and early plant eaters such as Plateosaurus. In what is now Arizona, Dilophosaurus, crowned with twin crests, emerged as a dominant hunter. In South Africa, the small herbivore Lycorhinus bore unusual fangs, an early experiment in form and function. Even as polar regions experienced localized cold, dinosaurs endured, adapting across the breadth of Pangaea with quiet resilience. Late Jurassic, the golden age of moving mountains. Between 163 and 145 million years ago, Pangaea finally began to split in earnest, dividing into Laurasia in the north and Gondwana in the south. Shallow seas seeped into the widening fractures, giving birth to the earliest Atlantic Ocean. This was the age of giants. Lush vegetation, vast forests of ferns, cycads, and towering conifers fed the largest animals ever to walk the earth. In North America's Morrison Formation and Tanzania's Tendaguru region, remarkably similar scenes unfolded. Massive sauropods, such as Brachiosaurus, Diplodocus, and Apatosaurus dominated the land, their column-like legs turning each step into a geological event. Yet differences were beginning to emerge. In China, evolution produced Mamenchosaurus, whose astonishing neck, stretching to nearly half its body length, allowed it to feed where no rival could reach. Above, pterosaurs like Rhamphorhynchus ruled the skies, while in Europe, Archaeopteryx made its tentative, feathered leaps into flight. Early Cretaceous, a world divided. Around 145 million years ago, continental drift accelerated. South America pulled away from Africa. India embarked on its long, solitary journey northward. Australia and Antarctica remained locked together in the south. Isolation became the engine of diversity. Dinosaurs now followed distinct evolutionary paths on each continent. In North America and Europe, armored ankylosaurs and early duck-billed dinosaurs spread across the land. In North Africa and South America, strange giants reigned. Spinosaurus, with its towering sail, stalked rivers as the largest semi-aquatic predator known, while rebechisaurid sauropods and immense titanosaurs thrived alongside it. In Asia, the Liaoning deposits reveal a vivid world of small feathered theropods, Microraptor, dromaeosaurids, and troodontids, standing close to the roots of modern birds. This era also witnessed a quiet green revolution. Flowering plants appeared, reshaping ecosystems and driving herbivorous dinosaurs to evolve more sophisticated ways of chewing and processing food. Late Cretaceous, the last isolated empires. From 100 to 66 million years ago, the dinosaur world reached its final, most fragmented form. Continents approached their modern positions. North America was split by an inland sea. Europe became a scatter of islands. Southern lands stood fully isolated. With isolation came striking regional identities. In the north, across Asia and North America, tyrannosaurids ruled, from the slender Alioramus of Mongolia to the immense Tyrannosaurus rex. They hunted among vast herds of horned ceratopsians and duck-billed hadrosaurids. In the south, tyrannosaurs were absent. Instead, abelisaurids such as Carnotaurus and Majungasaurus reigned, short-faced, horned predators adapted to Gondwana's landscapes. Enormous titanosaurs, including Argentinosaurus, continued to dominate as the largest land animals of all time. In Europe, island life shaped smaller, dwarfed species, adapted to limited resources. Even in polar regions like Antarctica and Alaska, dinosaurs endured. Enhanced vision allowed them to function through long, dim winters, proving that their dominion stretched from equatorial heat to polar twilight. Your breathing has slowed now, deep and even. You have crossed vanished continents and witnessed how life, persistent and adaptable, inscribed its story upon stone and river alike. Dinosaurs were more than colossal creatures. They were a testament to nature's endless invention, reigning for 160 million years through shifting climates and restless continents. Let the image of Pangaea gently dissolve. Let the thunder of titanosaur footsteps fade into the night breeze. You rest beneath the same stars that once watched over their ancient world. Everything is unfolding softly, as it should. Tonight, you need only rest. Feel the warmth of the fading campfire, its glowing embers like memories from a distant past. Close your eyes and drift peacefully into the vast, unhurried ocean of time. Adjust your pillow until it feels just right. Draw the blanket gently up to your chest. Let your shoulders loosen completely and sense a quiet warmth spreading from your heart to the tips of your fingers. Take a deep breath and release it slowly, like the deep, solemn pulse of the ancient earth itself, as we journey together into absolute power, the wonders of evolution. The miracle of scale, when gigantic size becomes survival. O traveler, Allow your thoughts to glide along the silken ribbon of time, back to an age when the ground itself trembled with every step. Dinosaurs were not merely large animals. They represented the very upper limits of what life on land could become. Among them, the sauropods stood as living mountains, biological marvels unmatched in scale throughout the history of life. Picture Argentinosaurus, stretching between 35 and 40 meters in length, weighing as much as 80 to 100 tons. Its mass equaled that of 13 African elephants combined, making it the heaviest creature ever to walk upon the earth. Or consider Bruhathcaosaurus, whose most recent estimates suggest a length of up to 44 meters and a weight between 110 and 170 tons. Numbers that rival even the blue whale, the largest animal to have ever lived. For such giants, size was not a burden, but a shield. Once fully grown, there were no predators bold or foolish enough to challenge them. Their immense bodies also granted an internal advantage. Food moved slowly through vast digestive systems, allowing them to extract nourishment even from the poorest vegetation. Gigantic size became a quiet, unassailable form of power. Engineering masterpieces, the bodies of kings. Dear night travelers, how could a body weighing tens of tons move, breathe, and endure? The answer lies in designs so refined that they still inspire awe today. Structures shaped patiently by millions of years of evolution. Begin with the skeleton. Sauropods possessed an extraordinary system of pneumatic cavities, air-filled spaces within their vertebrae that dramatically reduced weight without sacrificing strength. Their legs did not sprawl outward like those of ordinary reptiles. Instead, they descended straight beneath the body, like massive stone pillars, distributing weight with remarkable biomechanical efficiency. Yet the greatest secret lay within their breath. Dinosaurs were equipped with a system of air sacs connected to their lungs, much like those of modern birds. This allowed air to flow in one continuous direction, delivering fresh oxygen during both inhalation and exhalation. It was a biological engine of astonishing efficiency, sustaining high levels of activity and endurance. Their hearts, some as large as a small automobile, were powerful enough to drive blood upward through necks stretching tens of meters, all the way to the brain. Perfect predators, power forged from teeth and mind. While herbivores ruled through size, the great theropods rose to dominance through weaponry and intelligence. Spinosaurus, the largest carnivorous dinosaur known, reached lengths between 12.6 and 18 meters. Its elongated jaws and pressure-sensitive snout allowed it to hunt effectively, even in murky waters. And then there was Tyrannosaurus rex, the undisputed monarch of predators. Its bite could crush bone. Its serrated teeth were instruments of devastating precision. Yet its greatest strengths lay beyond muscle alone. T-Rex possessed an extraordinarily acute sense of smell and stereoscopic vision sharper than that of a hawk, enabling it to judge distance and movement with remarkable accuracy. Long dismissed as simple-minded brutes, many predatory dinosaurs, such as Allosaurus and Deinonychus, are now understood to have possessed notable intelligence and complex social behavior. Dense fossil assemblages suggest coordinated hunting strategies, perhaps resembling the tactics of modern wolves. Strength, perception, and cooperation combined to make them nearly unbeatable rulers of the land. Parallel empires, sky and sea. Night travelers, lift your gaze toward the sky, and then let it sink into the depths of the ocean. Beyond the land, close relatives of dinosaurs were building empires of their own. In the air, pterosaurs mastered flight on a grand scale. Giants like Quetzalcoatlus unfurled wings spanning up to 12 meters, comparable to a small aircraft, allowing them to ride thermal currents across vast distances. Their bones were light, and their bodies were cloaked in insulating pycnofibers, helping them regulate temperature while soaring through cold, high-altitude skies. Beneath the waves, marine reptiles transformed the oceans into realms of dominance. Ichthyosaurs evolved sleek, dolphin-like forms, capable of speeds approaching 40 kilometers per hour. Massive pliosaurs, such as the formidable Predator X, stretched up to 15 meters and wielded bite forces powerful enough to shatter bone. And above them all swam Mosasaurus, the true sea dragon of the Cretaceous, exceeding 17 meters in length, its jaws designed to slice prey apart with terrifying efficiency. The endless drive, metabolism, and adaptation. At the heart of this extraordinary power lay metabolism. Dinosaurs were not sluggish, cold-blooded creatures as once believed. Evidence now shows astonishing growth rates. Young sauropods may have gained up to 40 kilograms per day, a pace unmatched by any modern animal. Many species are thought to have been mesothermic, maintaining stable body temperatures while remaining active across changing climates. In the largest species, sheer size alone helped retain heat, a phenomenon known as gigantothermy. Together, these traits made dinosaurs remarkably resilient. They thrived from equatorial heat to polar cold, achieving a dominance that was both global and enduring. You have now completed a long journey through the realms of land, sky, and sea, witnessing the unmatched power of ancient rulers. These beings were not merely bones preserved in stone. They were once vibrant, breathing lives, expressions of endurance, adaptation, and strength. Everything unfolds in a gentle, perfect order. Tonight, there is nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to fear. Let the rhythm of time cradle you. Close your eyes and drift peacefully into sleep beneath the vast, silent ocean of stars. Tonight, the flame within us is lit once more, casting a warm, golden glow into the stillness of night. Settle your pillow. Draw the blanket close. Let your shoulders soften and feel warmth slowly radiate outward from your chest. Our story begins not in triumph, but in the aftermath of devastation. 250 million years ago, the Permian extinction, the Great Dying, nearly erased life from the planet. 95% of marine species vanished. 70% of life on land disappeared. Ash darkened the skies, oceans turned toxic, and oxygen thinned in the air. Yet even in this world of ruin and silence, life endured. From the ashes emerged small, agile survivors, archosaurs. They were not giants, not yet. But within them were superior designs, quietly forged by hardship, efficient lungs suited for low oxygen air, stronger hearts, and faster metabolisms. From these humble beginnings, a revolution was already stirring. And then, the most decisive transformation quietly took place: the upright gait. Unlike other reptiles, whose limbs sprawled outward and forced them close to the ground, the ancestors of dinosaurs placed their feet directly beneath their bodies. This seemingly modest change opened an entirely new world of speed, endurance, and a wide, commanding field of vision. It turned them into survival machines far superior to any rivals of their time. Between 230 and 243 million years ago, during the Triassic period, the first true dinosaurs officially appeared. They were modest creatures then, no larger than a modern dog, slipping through coniferous forests, hunting insects, and carefully avoiding larger, heavily armored reptiles. Yet perseverance is a powerful force. Over millions of quiet years, dinosaurs refined themselves patiently, waiting for the moment when the throne would finally be left unguarded. That moment arrived at the end of the Triassic period, through another great catastrophe. Most of their competitors vanished, and an almost empty Earth remained. Dinosaurs seized the opportunity, spreading rapidly across the vast supercontinent of Pangaea, claiming land after land in silence and determination. As you sink deeper into stillness, imagine the Jurassic period, the golden age of the moving mountains. This was the era when dinosaurs expressed power through sheer scale. sauropods pushed the boundaries of life to unimaginable extremes. Giants such as Argentinosaurus and Bruhathkaiosaurus stretched beyond 40 meters in length and weighed well over 100 tons, equal to an entire herd of elephants combined. To sustain such immense bodies, nature engineered true masterpieces. Their skeletons were hollowed and threaded with air sacs, reducing weight while remaining remarkably strong. Their one-way respiratory systems ensured that fresh oxygen flowed continuously through their lungs. Each step they took did more than shake the ground. They became living geological forces, reshaping ecosystems, breaking forest canopies, fertilizing plains, and choreographing a vast, slow dance between plants and giants. Yet dinosaurs were far more than slow-moving titans. They were intelligent, emotional beings, capable of care and strategy. Consider Maiasaura, whose name means kind lizard mother. Vast nesting grounds in Montana reveal that these dinosaurs built nests, incubated their eggs, and tended their young long after hatching. Or Siddhapati, forever preserved while gently brooding over its clutch, sheltering fragile life with its own body at the moment disaster struck. At the other end of the food chain, predators such as Allosaurus and Tyrannosaurus rex wielded more than sharp teeth and bone-crushing bites. They possessed well-developed brains, keen senses, and the ability to coordinate, perhaps even hunting in groups, much like modern wolves. They knew when to wait, how to judge distance, and how to dominate their territories with calculated precision. The dominance of dinosaurs was also guided by the slow, relentless motion of the Earth itself. As Pangaea began to fracture under tectonic forces, new continents and oceans emerged, dividing dinosaurs into isolated realms. This separation became the engine of diversification. In the north, tyrannosaurids rose as supreme predators. In the south, abelisaurids, with their peculiar horns and shortened arms, claimed their own thrones. Dinosaurs adapted to every environment. They lived beneath scorching equatorial suns and endured the long darkness of polar regions. Their relatives conquered the skies as pterosaurs, with wingspans rivaling small airplanes, and ruled the oceans as colossal marine reptiles such as Mosasaurus. No corner of the planet lay beyond their reach. O traveler, the story of dinosaurs is not merely a tale of strength, but of resilience. They endured relentless volcanic eruptions, dramatic climate shifts, and drifting continents. Their history reminds us that Earth itself is alive, sometimes harsh, yet always generous to those who can adapt. For more than 160 million years, dinosaurs flourished, a testament to what life can achieve when the right conditions briefly align. Dinosaurs represent a heroic chapter of our planet's memory, a time when life learned to stand tall, to soar, and to protect its future with devotion. And though their reign ended abruptly 66 million years ago, night travelers, they never truly vanished. Each time you hear birdsong outside your window, you are listening to the distant echoes of small theropod dinosaurs that survived the catastrophe. They are living witnesses, delicate threads linking us to a world unimaginably old. Their legacy teaches humility. No dynasty lasts forever, yet life always finds a way to continue its quiet symphony across the vast ocean of time. Now, dear night travelers, let images of fern-filled plains, long-necked giants wandering through twilight, and the deep heartbeat of ancient Earth gently carry you toward sleep. You are safe beneath this starry sky, the same stars that once watched over the age of dinosaurs. Everything is unfolding in a calm and perfect order. Release the burdens of the past and the worries of what lies ahead. Feel the warmth of the dying campfire, its red embers glowing like memories from a distant age. Close your eyes and drift peacefully into sleep, cradled by time itself. Let your breath drift slowly, like dust suspended between distant galaxies. Tonight, we will not speak of faraway stars or unnamed planets. Instead, We journey back 66 million years to the final hours of a great empire. We will witness a collision that reshaped the destiny of life and listen closely to the quiet song of the survivors who still soar above us today. Welcome to our next chapter, The Last Days of an Empire, Dinosaurs and the Ultimate Love Song, The Twilight of the Gods. Dear night travelers, allow your thoughts to drift gently along the silken ribbon of time. Picture the Earth in the late Cretaceous period, some 66 million years ago. It was a world at once familiar and strangely distant. The continents were beginning to resemble the map we know today, yet they still moved in a slow, patient dance across the planet's surface. North America was split by a vast inland sea, while India remained a solitary island, quietly making its long journey toward Asia. The climate was far warmer than our own, though the first breath of cold had begun to creep down from the poles. In high-latitude regions such as Alaska and Antarctica, snowflakes had started to fall, and winters grew harsher, with temperatures at times plunging below -45 degrees Celsius. And yet, much of the Earth remained lush and humid, a tropical world where immense forests stretched to the horizon. Within those forests, a quiet revolution was unfolding. Flowering plants, the angiosperms, were diversifying at an extraordinary pace, painting the land with colors never before witnessed by the ancestors of dinosaurs. The first bees hovered in search of nectar. Butterflies drifted among magnolias and ancient roses. To all appearances, the world was thriving. Dinosaurs still stood firmly atop the evolutionary pyramid, reigning from dense jungles to open plains. From Tyrannosaurus rex, armed with precise stereoscopic vision and an acute sense of smell, to the colossal 38-ton Alamosaurus, whose footsteps made the ground tremble, life continued its ancient rhythm. Each creature remained locked in the daily struggle to eat, to survive, to endure. And yet, can you sense it? Beneath this familiar cadence, a deep and distant rumble was rising. The Earth itself was stirring. A mighty empire stood upon foundations that were growing increasingly fragile. The planet's undercurrents. Long before catastrophe arrived from the heavens, the planet had already begun to change from within. In what is now India, enormous fractures split the Earth's crust, giving birth to the Deccan Traps. For tens of thousands of years, colossal volcanic eruptions poured lava across the land, releasing vast quantities of greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, into the atmosphere. Imagine a sky no longer clear, but perpetually veiled in ash and toxic haze. Excess carbon dioxide intensified the greenhouse effect, sending global temperatures swinging unpredictably, at times rising by 3 to 7 degrees Celsius. At the same time, sulfur-rich dust clouds reflected sunlight back into space, triggering sudden episodes of cooling. Ecosystems were pushed to their limits. Acid rain fell from darkened skies, poisoning rivers and lakes, stripping young plants from the soil, the very sustenance upon which giant herbivores depended. The seas, too, were in flux. Interwoven river systems and swampy wetlands, once home to specialized creatures such as Spinosaurus, gradually vanished under geological strain. The decline of smaller herbivorous dinosaurs likely followed, sending quiet shockwaves through the food chain. Dinosaurs still ruled the planet, but they were now adapting to a world that had grown increasingly unstable. These were the final days of a magnificent age. The great kings still roared. Their young still rested safely in their nests. All the while, the clock of destiny continued its silent countdown. The moment the sky falls. Then, on a single fateful morning 66 million years ago, death arrived from the farthest reaches of the cosmos. A colossal asteroid, nearly 10 kilometers in diameter, roughly the size of Mount Everest, raced toward Earth at a staggering speed of 45,000 miles per hour. Relax your body, night travelers. and witness this moment through the eyes of a resting Tyrannosaurus rex. The hunt is over. The air is still. Suddenly, a brilliant point of light appears in the sky, growing brighter, brighter than 1,000,000 suns. As the asteroid tears through the upper atmosphere, its fiery tail lingers at altitudes where modern jet aircraft now fly. The air ahead of it is compressed with such violence that it transforms into glowing plasma. The impact strikes what is today the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, carving out the Chicxulub crater. The energy released equals that of 10 billion atomic bombs detonating at once. In a heartbeat, the asteroid punches 20 kilometers into the Earth's crust, vaporizing solid rock and seawater into superheated gas. Shockwaves ripple outward in flawless circles, shredding everything in their path. For thousands of miles around the impact site, no living being stands a chance against temperatures exceeding 600 degrees Celsius and crushing pressure. An earthquake of magnitude 11.1, far beyond anything recorded in human history, reverberates through the planet, awakening dormant volcanoes. Yet this is only the beginning. More than 500 billion tons of debris are hurled skyward. Molten fragments rain back down through the atmosphere, igniting a global firestorm that sweeps from pole to pole. Enormous tsunamis, hundreds of meters high, surge across coastlines, burying entire worlds beneath mud and shattered stone. The winter of silence. Now, night travelers, take a slow, steady breath and feel the cold settling into the story. The Yucatan impact site was tragically ill-chosen, rich in sulfur-bearing minerals. When vaporized, these rocks released billions of tons of sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere. Dust, ash, and toxic gases thickened the sky, blocking out sunlight almost entirely. The Earth fell into deep darkness for months, perhaps as long as half a year. Global temperatures plunged by as much as 28 degrees Celsius, ushering in a long, collision winter that endured for years. Without sunlight, photosynthesis ground to a halt. Plants withered and died, collapsing food chains that had persisted for hundreds of millions of years. Massive herbivores such as Alamosaurus starved first. Soon after, the great predators followed. Acid rain continued to fall, poisoning water sources and destroying the last fragile shoots of green struggling to emerge. The great ornithischian dinosaurs, whose immense bodies demanded constant energy, could not endure such conditions. The roars that once thundered across continents faded away, replaced by an unsettling silence, broken only by falling ash and cooling stone. The airs from the darkness. And yet, dear traveler, as sleep draws closer, remember this: death is never the final word in the story of life. As the dust slowly settles and faint sunlight filters once more through fern-filled landscapes, small creatures emerge from hiding. Though their colossal relatives are gone, a lineage of small, feathered theropods survives. Creatures able to eat seeds, endure scarcity, and adapt with remarkable speed. They are the ancestors of the birds that still grace our skies today. Alongside them, tiny mammals, mouse-like beings that had lived for millions of years in the shadows, begin to flourish. Freed from the long reign of giants, they diversify, carrying within them the promise of a new chapter, the age of mammals, and eventually, the age of humankind. The extinction of the dinosaurs reminds us that Earth is not a static world, but a living, evolving entity, shaped by both unimaginable destruction and profound renewal. It teaches humility before the forces of nature and respect for the quiet resilience of life itself. One great movement may end in fire and darkness, but the melody never truly fades. It simply changes its form and continues. Are you still awake, night travelers? If you have already drifted into sleep, that is a beautiful thing. And if you are still listening, take a slow, gentle breath. Then let it go, unhurried, like the deep, ancient pulse of the earth itself. Tonight, We journey back 66 million years to witness the moment the sky fell, an instant that forever altered the destiny of life. Welcome to our story. The moment the sky fell, the Chicxulub event. The last morning on the Yucatan Peninsula. Dear night travelers, let your thoughts glide softly along the silken ribbon of time, returning to a peaceful morning in what is now the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. The Earth was then a warm, humid paradise, far hotter than it is today. Vast forests of broadleaf trees and ancient pines stretched across the land, while flowering plants bloomed in astonishing variety. Picture a herd of colossal Alamosaurus moving slowly across the coastal plains in search of food. Each creature measured more than 20 meters in length and weighed up to 30 tons, their steady footsteps sending faint tremors through the ground. Not far away, a Tyrannosaurus rex feeds quietly, unaware that a strange point of light has begun to grow in the sky above. At that moment, the world seemed to be at the height of its prosperity. Dinosaurs had ruled the land for more than 160 million years, surviving shifting continents and changing climates. None could know that, from the distant asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, a silent messenger of death had already begun its irreversible journey. The messenger from the abyss of space. Far away, in the frozen darkness of space, a massive body known as Chicxulub was racing toward Earth. Roughly the size of Mount Everest, it measured nearly 10 kilometers across and weighed close to 1 trillion tons. This wandering rock was not entirely foreign to life. It contained rock and frozen water, along with elements such as carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, the very ingredients from which life itself is built. And yet, in a cruel irony of the cosmos, what can give rise to life can also bring about its end. As Chicxulub brushed the upper layers of Earth's atmosphere, its glowing tail still trailed at altitudes where modern jet aircraft now fly. It traveled at an unimaginable speed, about 45,000 miles per hour, nearly 60 times the speed of sound. Friction with the air transformed the asteroid into a blazing fireball, brighter than 1,000,000 suns. The moment of impact, when Earth rings like a bell. When the asteroid struck the shallow waters of the Gulf of Mexico, the energy released was equivalent to 10 billion Hiroshima atomic bombs detonating at once. In a fraction of a second, Chicxulub bored nearly 20 kilometers into the Earth's crust, turning solid rock and seawater into superheated vapor. Night travelers, breathe slowly and try to grasp the scale of this violence. The blast unleashed 6 million times more energy than the eruption of Mount St. Helens in 1980. In Earth's 4.5 billion year history, only one collision was greater, the ancient impact with the planet Theia that formed our moon. But for the living world of the Cretaceous, this was the greatest catastrophe it had ever known. A towering column of incandescent gas and debris shot hundreds of miles into space. At ground zero, everything ceased to exist. Temperatures soared to 600 degrees Celsius, instantly erasing all life within thousands of miles. The Alamosaurus never felt pain. Their immense bodies were reduced to dust in a single blinding flash. Global waves of destruction. The impact unleashed a cascade of worldwide disasters. First came the Great Earthquake, a staggering magnitude, 11.1 tremor that shook the entire planet. It was 60 times stronger than any earthquake recorded in human history, causing the Earth's crust to vibrate like a struck bell. Then followed the mega tsunami. As the asteroid plunged into the sea, it displaced a colossal wall of water, between 100 and 300 meters high. These waves raced across the oceans, surging thousands of kilometers inland and burying coastal worlds beneath thick layers of mud and sand. Finally came the firestorm. More than 500 billion tons of debris were hurled into the stratosphere. As fragments of molten rock and glass fell back through the atmosphere, they ignited, turning the sky into a global furnace. Forests burned from the Arctic to the Antarctic beneath a rain of fire. In a matter of hours, a paradise built over millions of years had become a world of flame and ruin. Impact winter, darkness and silence. Now, night travelers, feel the cold slowly settling into our story. The Yucatan Peninsula was the worst possible place for such an impact, rich in sulfur-bearing rocks. When vaporized, these minerals released billions of tons of sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere. Dust, ash, and toxic gases formed a dense black veil that blocked sunlight for 2 to 6 months. At noon, the world was so dark, one could not see a hand held before the face. Global temperatures fell by as much as 28 degrees Celsius, plunging Earth into a prolonged collision winter that lasted for years. Without sunlight, photosynthesis stopped, plants withered and died, and the ancient food chains collapsed. Giant herbivores starved first, followed soon after by the great predators. Sulfuric acid rain poured from the sky, poisoning rivers and lakes, burning away the last fragile shoots of green that tried to return. Why Chicxulub was so devastating? Earth has endured many impacts, but Chicxulub stands apart. It struck at a time when life was extraordinarily diverse and in a region uniquely sensitive to global climate. Approximately 75% of all species vanished, bringing the long and magnificent reign of the dinosaurs to an end. The scar remains to this day. Beneath the sediments of the Gulf of Mexico lies a crater 180 kilometers wide. Scientists have traced its signature through layers of iridium, rare on Earth but common in asteroids, found worldwide in rocks dating to 66 million years ago. Shocked quartz crystals, formed only under unimaginable pressure, offer further silent testimony to the power of that moment. Survivors from the ruins. And yet, night travelers, as our campfire dims, there is still room for hope. While the giants fell, life found a narrow path forward. Small, unassuming creatures, mouse-like animals living in burrows, escaped the worst of the heat and fire. Omnivorous and adaptable, they survived on seeds, fungi, and carrion in the long darkness. From these humble survivors, after millions of years, humanity itself would one day arise. Most remarkably of all, the dinosaurs never vanished completely. A small lineage of feathered theropod dinosaurs endured the cold and hunger. Today, we know them as birds. When you hear birdsong outside your window tomorrow morning, remember this: it is the echo of ancient rulers, beings who traded vast size for wings and found a new way to rule the skies. Night travelers, your breathing is now slow, deep, calm, and steady. The story of Chicxulub reminds us that Earth is a resilient being, one that always knows how to rise from its own ashes. A great chapter may close in fire and devastation, yet life never truly ends. It simply changes its form and begins again. Let the gentle images of wings gliding through the morning light and the quiet abundance of life on this planet cradle you into peaceful sleep. You are safe within the embrace of Earth, a world that has spent billions of years preparing for your presence here tonight. Everything is unfolding in a perfect and tender order. There is no need to worry about the mysteries of the past, nor the uncertainties of the future. Tonight, all you are asked to do is rest. Let this small flame warm your spirit. Let the slow rhythm of time soothe you. Close your eyes and drift into a peaceful sleep, carried by the vast ocean of stars. We will not begin with triumph or glory. Instead, together, we step into the darkest, coldest, and most decisive hours in the history of life. The winter of annihilation. Allow your thoughts to glide gently along the ribbons of time and listen to the story of the moment when the sky itself collapsed, when the paradise of giants was transformed first into an inferno, and then into a frozen, silent grave. The moment the sky ignites. Dear night travelers, our story opens on a seemingly ordinary morning at the end of the Cretaceous period. On the lush Yucatan Peninsula, Herds of massive Alamosaurus moved slowly across the land, each step sending a tremor through the soil. They were unaware that a messenger of death was descending silently from the abyss of space. It was an asteroid roughly the size of Mount Everest, about 10 kilometers wide, weighing trillions of tons, racing toward Earth at an unimaginable speed, 45,000 miles per hour, nearly 60 times the speed of sound. As it struck the upper atmosphere, friction transformed it into a blazing fireball, brighter than a million suns. In just 5 seconds, it pierced the sky and slammed into the shallow waters of the Gulf of Mexico. The energy released was equal to 10 billion Hiroshima atomic bombs exploding at once. In an instant, the asteroid drove 20 kilometers into Earth's crust, turning solid rock and seawater into searing vapor. A towering column of superheated gas and debris surged hundreds of miles into space. At the epicenter, temperatures climbed into the thousands of degrees. Life within thousands of miles was erased in a single flash. The dinosaurs did not feel pain. Their bodies were reduced to dust beneath the blinding light. Yet this was only the opening note of a global symphony of destruction. Earth in convulsion. The impact was so immense that the planet itself rang like a struck bell. An earthquake measuring 11.1 on the Richter scale rippled across the entire globe, 60 times more powerful than any earthquake ever recorded by humans. These violent tremors awakened dormant volcanoes, forcing magma upward through newly torn fractures in the Earth's crust. In the oceans, a colossal wall of water rose, 100 to 300 meters high, radiating outward from the impact zone. These super tsunami waves surged thousands of kilometers inland, burying coastlines beneath layers of mud, sand, and shattered life. But for creatures far from the impact, the greatest terror fell from the sky. More than 500 billion tons of debris were hurled into the stratosphere. As fragments of molten rock and glass rained back down, they ignited upon re-entry, turning the atmosphere into a global firestorm. The sky burned. Air temperatures soared high enough to ignite forests spontaneously, from the Arctic to the Antarctic. Within hours, a world that had flourished for millions of years became a realm of fire and ash. The Black Curtain and the Collision Winter. O traveler, feel the cold now creeping into our story. As the flames of the worldwide fires slowly faded, Earth did not return to calm. Instead, it descended into a deep and unnatural silence. The Yucatan impact site proved catastrophic, rich in sulfur-bearing minerals. Vaporized by the blast, billions of tons of sulfur dioxide were hurled into the stratosphere. Dust, ash, and soot from the burning forests formed a thick black curtain that wrapped the entire planet. Sunlight vanished for 2 to 6 months. Darkness became so complete that even at noon, one could not see a hand held before the face. Seen from the moon, Earth would have appeared as a dim gray sphere drifting silently through space. With darkness came lethal cold. Global temperatures plunged by up to 28 degrees Celsius, plunging the planet into a prolonged collision winter. Ice and snow spread across regions once warm and tropical. Weather systems collapsed into chaos, unleashing superstorms and relentless winds that scoured the land. The collapse of the food chain. Night travelers, take a slow breath and imagine the silence of the forests. Without sunlight, photosynthesis, the foundation of life on Earth, came to a halt. Flowering plants and vast fern plains withered and died. The loss of vegetation triggered a devastating collapse of the food chain. Giant herbivores such as Alamosaurus and Triceratops were among the first to perish. Bodies weighing tens of tons required enormous amounts of food, and when the forests vanished, survival became impossible. With the fall of the herbivores, apex predators like Tyrannosaurus rex soon followed. Scavenging could only delay the inevitable. This winter did not kill only through fire and cold. It killed through hunger and exhaustion. Acid rain, heavy with sulfur, fell from the darkened sky, poisoning rivers and lakes, scorching the final fragile shoots that dared to grow. The oceans, too, turned acidic, destroying coral reefs and collapsing marine ecosystems. In the end, nearly 75% of all species on Earth vanished. The heirs of the darkness. And yet, night travelers, as our campfire fades to embers, there remains a quiet spark of hope. While the rulers of the old world fell, life discovered narrow paths forward. Small, unassuming creatures, mouse-like animals living deep in burrows, escaped the worst of the heat and flames. Omnivorous and adaptable, they survived on seeds, fungi, and carrion. By giving birth and sheltering their young underground, they protected the next generation in ways surface-dwelling animals could not. From these survivors, over millions of years, humanity would eventually arise. Most remarkably, the dinosaurs never vanished entirely. A small lineage of feathered theropod dinosaurs endured the long winter. With modest size, quick minds, and seed-based diets, they survived. Today we know them as birds. When you hear birdsong outside your window tomorrow morning, remember this. It is the echo of ancient rulers. They exchanged immense size for wings, raw force for intelligence and agility, and in doing so, found a new way to endure. Dinosaurs did not disappear, they transformed. The story of the Winter of Annihilation teaches us that Earth is resilient, forever rising from its own ashes. A great chapter may close in fire and ice, but life always finds a new note with which to begin again. Let the image of wings gliding through the morning light and the quiet abundance of life around you guide you into peaceful sleep. You are safe within the arms of Earth, a planet that has spent billions of years preparing for this moment, for you, tonight. Everything is unfolding in a gentle and perfect order. There is nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to fear. Let this small flame warm your soul. Let the slow rhythm of time carry you. Close your eyes and drift into peaceful sleep, floating within the vast ocean of stars. Tonight, we will quietly uncover one of the most enduring mysteries in natural history. Was Chicxulub the only culprit? Fingerprints from the universe and the veil of secrets. Traveler, let your thoughts drift gently along the silken ribbon of time, back to the moment when science first began to search for the true cause behind the fall of Earth's ancient rulers. For generations, the sudden disappearance of the dinosaurs remained an unsolved riddle until clues emerged, not from the sky, but from the silent layers of stone beneath our feet. In the Red Deer River Valley of Canada, paleontologists such as Phil Currie encountered a peculiar sedimentary layer known as the KT boundary. Below this thin band of rock, dinosaur fossils appeared in great abundance. Just above it, there was nothing, not a single bone. Then, in 1980, a father and son team of scientists, Luis and Walter Alvarez, announced a discovery that would change everything. Across this boundary layer, in sites all over the world, they found unusually high concentrations of a rare element, iridium. Iridium is scarce on Earth's surface, having been drawn deep into the planet's core during its formation. Yet it is common in asteroids and comets. This discovery was the scientific equivalent of a silent confession, a clear indication that an object from deep space had struck Earth precisely at the moment the dinosaurs vanished. Chicxulub, when the meteorite was not alone, night travelers breathe slowly and picture the immense force of the Chicxulub asteroid, 10 kilometers wide, plunging into the Gulf of Mexico at 45,000 miles per hour. The energy released equaled 10 billion Hiroshima atomic bombs, carving a crater 180 kilometers across and 20 kilometers deep. 500 billion tons of debris were hurled into the sky, igniting global firestorms and unleashing tsunamis hundreds of meters high. And yet, in the quiet darkness of this story, an important question lingers. Could a single rock, no matter how vast, truly erase a dynasty that had survived for 160 million years? Modern science increasingly suggests that when the sky fell, Earth itself was already dangerously unwell. The greatest accomplice was found not above, but below. In what is now India, the Deccan traps were erupting with terrifying persistence. These were not isolated volcanic events. They continued for tens of thousands of years around the time of the extinction. Between 70 and 80% of the lava flows were released in powerful pulses, roughly 100,000 years apart. From Earth's depths poured enormous volumes of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, gases capable of reshaping the global climate, a planet already in distress. Traveler, feel the warmth of the campfire and imagine a world under relentless strain. Geological evidence reveals that toxic gases from the Deccan eruptions drove extreme climatic instability. Global temperatures swung violently, rising by 3 to 7 degrees Celsius. Acid rain fell across continents, poisoning rivers and stripping vegetation from the land. At the same time, sea levels fluctuated dramatically near the end of the Cretaceous period. Vast wetlands, river deltas, and shallow coastal ecosystems, home to many specialized dinosaur species, began to disappear. Some theories suggest that dinosaur diversity had already begun to decline before the asteroid struck. Smaller species became fewer, and ecosystems grew fragile, increasingly vulnerable to disruption. While fossil records from places like Hell Creek in North America suggest that dinosaurs still appeared locally abundant, on a global scale, they were living on borrowed time. When Chicxulub arrived, it was not merely a catastrophe. It was the final blow to an already weakened world. The convergence of two catastrophes. Night travelers, take a deep breath and sense the immense harmony of natural forces at work. Recent research suggests that the Chicxulub impact may have intensified volcanic activity at the Deccan traps, sending seismic waves through the planet that worsened the eruptions. The result was a cruel cycle. The asteroid plunged Earth into darkness and a frigid collision winter, while volcanic gases later drove intense greenhouse warming. Such rapid and extreme temperature swings were impossible for massive creatures like dinosaurs to survive. Without sunlight, plants failed. Without plants, food chains collapsed, from the largest herbivores to the most powerful predators. And yet, traveler, even here, life refused to surrender. Small, mouse-like animals sheltered in deep burrows. Small, feathered theropod dinosaurs endured by feeding on seeds and carrion. In the quiet aftermath, these survivors carried life forward. Dinosaurs never truly vanished. An endless love song. Before you drift fully into sleep, allow this final thought to bring you comfort. Dinosaurs never truly disappeared. Modern science has confirmed that birds are living dinosaurs, direct descendants of small, feathered theropods from the Maniraptora group. They share hundreds of anatomical traits with their ancient ancestors: hollow bones, similar hip structures, egg-laying, and devoted parental care. Today, more than 11,000 species of birds fill the skies, making the dinosaur lineage one of the most successful and diverse groups of animals on Earth. When you hear birdsong outside your window, or watch a hawk glide effortlessly on warm air currents, you are witnessing the legacy of ancient rulers, creatures that exchanged sharp teeth and massive bodies for wings, lightness, and freedom. Their reign did not end. It simply learned how to fly. Night travelers, take a deep breath and release it slowly, in rhythm with the ancient pulse of the Earth itself. Tonight, we journey backward through time to uncover the secret survivors of a dynasty once thought forever lost. This is a story of quiet endurance, of life's astonishing resilience. We will discover why the ancient rulers of the world still walk among us, sometimes lightly, on wings gliding beneath the morning sun. Welcome to The Secret Survivors. Dinosaurs Never Went Extinct. the unfinished symphony. Dear night travelers, for many years we have grown accustomed to seeing dinosaurs as dry, motionless skeletons behind museum glass. We were taught that their mighty reign ended abruptly, extinguished by a catastrophic meteorite impact 66 million years ago. To us, they became little more than echoes, roars fading from the closed pages of history. But pause for a moment. Listen to the gentle chirping of a sparrow outside your window at dawn. Watch the piercing gaze of a hawk circling high above the clouds. Do you feel it? That presence is not merely a bird, it is a transformed sovereign. Modern science has quietly lifted the veil and revealed a remarkable truth. Birds are dinosaurs. They are not distant relatives, nor symbolic descendants. They are living theropods, the sole surviving branch of that ancient lineage. A reign that lasted 165 million years did not truly end. It simply evolved, shedding terror for grace and power for elegance. A bridge through time, from theropod to wing. How did creatures that once weighed tens of tons give rise to beings so light and delicate? The answer lies with a remarkable group known as the Maniraptora, a branch of theropod dinosaurs that included names like Velociraptor and Deinonychus. Night travelers, picture these ancestors. Agile, intelligent, upright hunters with finely tuned senses and distinctive hip structures. Over time, some began to shrink in size, better suited to slipping through dense forests, hiding from danger, and surviving on limited resources during the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods. And then there is Archaeopteryx, the most eloquent transitional fossil ever discovered. Unearthed in 1861, it bore sharp teeth, clawed fingers, and a long bony tail, yet also possessed wings adorned with fully formed feathers. Archaeopteryx stands as Earth's quiet confession, revealing that the boundary between dinosaur and bird is not a wall, but a gentle passage shaped by time. Hidden blueprints, hollow bones, and ancient breath. Dear night travelers, as the night deepens, let us look inward, beyond feathers and wings, into the very architecture of life. There, we find astonishing similarities between a Tyrannosaurus rex and a simple pigeon. Birds possess lightweight bones filled with air spaces, an adaptation for flight. Yet scientists have discovered that large predatory dinosaurs, and even massive long-necked species, shared this hollow skeletal structure. It reduced weight, yes, but more importantly, it supported the most advanced respiratory system ever to evolve on land. Dinosaurs breathed through a network of air sacs connected to their lungs, allowing oxygen to flow in one direction. Fresh air entered both during inhalation and exhalation, fueling high energy levels and remarkable endurance. This was the engine of their dominance, first across continents, and later through the open sky. Even the small V-shaped wishbone found in a chicken's chest is a direct inheritance from ancient carnivorous dinosaurs. From neck to wrist, from hip to spine, the evidence is undeniable. This is one unbroken bloodline. Feathers, the mantle of ancient kings. Once we believed feathers belonged solely to birds. That belief dissolved in the 1990s, when extraordinary discoveries emerged from Liaoning province in China. There, paleontologists uncovered hundreds of exquisitely preserved fossils, dinosaurs cloaked in feathers. Some, like Sinosauropteryx, wore soft down for warmth. Others, such as Microraptor, bore 4 wings, gliding from tree to tree. Even close relatives of Tyrannosaurus rex are now believed to have worn feathers at certain stages of life. Flight was not the original purpose. Feathers first evolved to regulate body temperature, to provide camouflage, or to signal strength during mating. Their presence tells us something profound. Dinosaurs were warm-blooded, active, and vividly alive, not the dull, lumbering creatures once imagined. Quietly, patiently, life was preparing its ascent into the air, the heart of a mother. Traveler, imagine the soft glow of moonlight over ancient nesting grounds. Dinosaurs were never cold or unfeeling. Fossils of Maiasaura, the good mother lizard, reveal carefully built nests and evidence of prolonged care for hatchlings. The dinosaur Psittapati was discovered frozen in time, curled protectively over its eggs, shielding them with its body and feathers in a final act of devotion. Even the way dinosaurs slept, heads tucked beneath their limbs for warmth, mirrors the posture of birds today. These ancient instincts of care, protection, and love have passed through millions of years, unbroken, from the giants of the Cretaceous to the small birds resting in your garden. Through fire and darkness, the chosen survivors. So why did the giants fall, while these early birds endured? When Chicxulub struck, Earth became a realm of fire and darkness. Forests burned, oceans surged, and a long, bitter winter followed. Food chains collapsed. Large bodies, dependent on vast amounts of energy, could not survive the cold and hunger. But in that darkness, the small feathered dinosaurs found refuge. Their modest size required less food. Their ability to eat seeds, stored safely in the soil, became a lifeline when green plants vanished. They hid in tree hollows and burrows, waiting patiently for light to return. They were the quiet victors, trading teeth for beaks, mass for wings. When the dust finally settled and the sun rose once more, they stood as the sole inheritors of an ancient empire. The eternal song of life. Dear night travelers, the story of the dinosaurs reminds us that life is a symphony without a final note. It does not end, it transforms. The blood of T-Rex and Velociraptor still flows within more than 11,000 species of birds alive today. Their survival is living proof that life does not surrender to catastrophe. It adapts, endures, and rises again. For thousands of years, we have admired birds in our myths, our music, and our art, never realizing we were gazing upon the living heirs of Earth's ancient rulers. Dinosaurs never truly left us. They remain above us, guarding the skies, whispering of the planet's enduring vitality. Night travelers, your breathing is now slow, deep, and steady. Let the image of wings gliding through morning light, of life unfolding patiently across millions of years, carry you gently into rest. You are held within the embrace of Earth, a world that spent billions of years preparing for this quiet moment. Set aside the mysteries of the past and the uncertainties of tomorrow. Tonight, simply rest. Feel the warmth of the fading campfire, its glowing embers like distant stars falling through time. Close your eyes and drift peacefully into the vast ocean of ages. Good night, traveler. The ancient world is watching over your dreams,